I'm Malcolm Van Delst, and this is an excerpt from the 9-Year-Old CEO. Follows the exploits of a 9-year-old CEO running a gaming company. Last week, Arduino went home, had a conversation with her mirror, then returned to the office to write the Crash of Santa outline. This is chapter 10, No One Knew, continuing with that chapter. And that's the end of that. I can't write a game. Here, have a look at Kurt Vonnegut's story shape diagrams. Skim them. Look at the pictures. I'm not asking you to read all of it. Kurt Vonnegut's Shapes of Stories. To be clear, the Crash of Santa game will include everything Beowulf listed. Secret worlds, lucky coins with paths to useful stuff, with only the 100 lucky coin paths being worth buying. Levels where you can get power-ups by catching a secret Santa. Power-ups that you can't use until the next world. Whistles that allow you to skip part of a game. A song that plays when you either complete a world or buy 3 sleighs. Sleighs appearing in groups of 1, 2, or 3, with the group of 3 sleighs being rare. Sleighs having a wind effect and music as well as a song. Let's rewind and hear that amazing song again. Which world do you want to go to? There are tons of worlds you can choose, but they are countries. Here's a tip. If you listen to the rest of the song, it will automatically pick and take you to world 3. But since you listen to the whole song, you will get a reward, a hint of some power moves. These power moves can be used for completing boss fights, which can come in handy when you're at a boss fight. Ground, pound, roll, jump, and you can get on top of the boss fight. And that's the end of the song. Da-da-da. Welcome to World 2. We have been waiting for you. Go to the mid-castle to find a boss fight. Arduino knew that she had failed BWAS again, though this time at least she was true to Beowulf's words. There were so many balls in the air, the new building in the skate park, for example, managing the dev team. But she knew that Sullian made magic with Maya. Get the joke? Never mind. Maya is the game illustration and animation software that Sullian uses. She knew that Sullian and Beowulf had minds that seemed to work in sync sometimes, even if they squabbled just as much. Ravinder, she knew, could take convoluted scripts, find the seeds in them, water, and nurture those seeds. Lastly, perhaps more essential than she liked to acknowledge, BWAS had unlimited funds to throw at Crash of Santa. After sending the new Bible to Ravinder, it was a Bible. Arduino's not a complete illiterate, what's the word I'm looking for? Noob? Ignoramus. She's not a complete game illiterate ignoramus. I, the author, am merely not writing the whole thing out for you here. Arduino is intensely insecure. She thinks she failed BWAS. She always thinks she's failing. She spent the last 25 hours churning out 237 pages, with spaces left for characters and worlds that Sullian would design, aka provide initial sketches, ideas, and references for his team of artists, animators, and sound designers to work with. He really liked sound, Sullian did, and noticed the most innocuous hums, whirs, and pings. He was a delight to walk with, pointing out rhythms in the natural and not-so-natural parks and cityscapes of New City. For Sullian, music was everywhere. Anyway, the next day, night, actually. Having refused to take calls from Beowulf and having locked her office door so neither he nor his brother could get in, long after the brothers went home for the day, Arduino sent the Bible to Ravinder, then left BWAS's headquarters. It was midnight. She took the elevator to the basement and went into a storeroom. Rolling aside a shelf filled with breakfast cereals and Doritos, she pressed the wall, which popped open, revealing a concrete staircase. She took that down another floor, exited to another storage area, though this one was sparsely populated, and pressed another wall, this time rolling back a rack of old servers and out-of-commission computers. Once in the space behind this wall, large, dark gray rock walls and an earthen floor covered with green turf carpet, she opened a tall metal high school locker to her right and took out a set of clothes, an unbranded black hoodie, black twill pants, and a pair of all black running shoes. She removed her gray Nike sweats and Vans with the white soles, put on the black clothes, put her old clothes in the locker, and locked it. Pulling the hoodie up over her head, she turned to a heavy steel door to her left, dialed in its combination, pushed it open, and entered a cement corridor with lights in those yellow plastic cages. the kind you see in work sites or in garages, strung along one wall, about 12 feet between each fixture. She pulled the door closed behind her. Click. The door, about 10 inches thick, required substantial effort on her part to close. She padded down the corridor, also carpeted with fake green grass, followed its maze-like twists and turns until reaching another combination locked door. Click. She exited to a dark alley. "Good evening, Mike," she said to what appeared to be a passed-out drunk among some garbage bags. "Hello, Artie," he replied, voice clear and sober. Mike was her security guard, a childhood friend. Passing Mike, she ducked into another alley, then another and another, until she stood in front of a big, rusting trash bin. A decoy, she pushed it easily out of the way. She crouched, wiped dirt and debris from the ground, then dug her hand into what looked like a crack in the concrete. Click. A round cement slab, the size of a manhole, levered open. An Arduino disappeared inside. Click. The slab closed, stopping at about 8 inches, which was just enough for Arduino's hand to reach out, grab a piece of metal welded to the bottom of this garbage bin, and pull it back over top of the hole. Whir, thud, click. You'd never guess in a million years that millions of dollars worth of servers, anti-surveillance, and security equipment, and one of the dark web's biggest nodes lay just beneath your feet. Okay, not just beneath your feet, a few hundred yards north and 20 stories up, when you stood beside that rusting container. But BWAS's coup might as well have been underground in her 20th floor office, since heavy blackout curtains covered the windows. Still, those few minutes when the curtains were drawn back, or when she finished working and could peek, no, this scenario isn't performing. How can you have the kind of security Arduino needs to run her Tor node and do her crypto trading in an office building, even if it's in an unsavory part of town with boarded up buildings, food warehouses, and light industrial all around? She could have another smaller node in this office, which, by the way, comprises the whole floor and isn't listed on the elevator. This building is the biggest, most respectable on the block, holding several large-scale photographic studios, internet companies, and a makeup startup, among others. She could run an I2P node. No, there'd be too much traffic when combined with the underground bunker, which I see now needs to be reinstated or written into existence in the first place. Scratch 20 floors up and a few hundred yards north. After closing the manhole cover, Arduino felt around in her pocket for an Olight Warrior X Pro 2100 lumens USB magnetic rechargeable tactical flashlight with 500-meter beam distance for hunting, searching, and camping. She flicked it on, descended a ladder, followed another of the same sort of concrete tunnel with a string of work lights and green turf carpeting, twisting and turning once again, until she got to the mother of all heavy, thick, forged steel doors, 2 feet deep, with a lock combination of 25 numbers that Arduino had memorized. There were only 3 other people who could access this room, this bunker, and they have all committed these 25 numbers and the sequence of turns between them to memory. Arduino and her shadowy white hat co-conspirators, gray hat co-conspirators, and white hat. They have both colors of caps on their racks and change them as the situation warrants. Helping Egyptians with Arab Spring, white hat. Trading Bitcoin for Zcash and a tidy profit, gray. They never wear black hat. Drugs, weapons, and kiddie porn, no way. Okay, sometimes weapons. Okay, sometimes drugs. See Arab Spring. And that's how Arduino gets her money and connections.